Hey everybody, I did a knife collection video, I don't know, maybe a year ago. Uh, Actually, yeah, I think about a year ago, and that was a collection of all my knives, and my collection has changed, but instead of doing a collection video on my entire collection, I'm going to do a collection video on my discontinued and probably my rarest knives that I have. And well, here they are. All these knives are either discontinued or have some sort of rarity that that makes them different than my general collection. First of all, if you're not really big into European knives, this is a Mazarin symbol, which is a made in Italy by Mazarin. It's a very good knife. It's comparable to the Spyderco Persistence in size and in purpose. 440C, very sharp. Yes, you guys can see that the edge has been used, resharpened and sharpened again. That's true of all these knives except for this one. This is my my only safe queen, and it's the Spyderco Phoenix. And why don't I get into that one next? This is the Spyderco Phoenix, made in Seki City, Japan, I believe. It's made by Howard Vielli, and it's a caged ball bearing. No, not a caged ball bearing lock, just a regular ball bearing lock. It's got that wonderful drop point blade, beautiful shiny hollow ground, white micarta scales. VG10, Seki City, Japan. This knife is very, very light. It's awesome. Really wonderful condition. I got it from Golden, Colorado on USA Earth. That's where I purchased the knife. This is also a knife I picked up in Golden. This one was made in Golden, unlike the Phoenix. It's made out of S30V. It's a Spyderco paramilitary first generation. Camo. It's got the compression lock, which allows you to hold the lock down and flick the knife open. It's probably one of the strongest liner locks, and the only real difference between this and other liner locks is the liner locks on the back. Next, moving on to my cold steel knives. This is a cold steel AK-47, the Ultra Lock model, with my homemade carbon steel pommel. And I do say homemade because a custom made is done by a professional. Homemade is done by myself. Very sharp. I really used this knife a lot. Didn't really carry it because it was too heavy, but I've cut up tons of stuff with this. Stabbed a bunch of different kinds of cardboard, and this was my monkey see, monkey do, right? You watch a cold steel video, you want to get one of their knives and try some of that stuff, and this is the knife I did it with. It's got a very nice hollow grind, reinforced tip. Let's see. This is an old styled cold steel. Well, I shouldn't say it's not that old, and it's a country classic with nickel bolsters, bird hook. It's their bird country classic. Bear with me really quick. I need to open it with two hands. Okay. You can see those scratches on it. Those aren't from me sharpening it. Those are from me cutting through tons and tons and tons of cardboard. And it's actually a cardboard very similar to the cardboard that's on this. how on the Spyderco boxes, how it's got like a plastic laminate finish, I guess, with with paper underneath. And it was a shoebox actually, and I shredded a shoebox, and it gave this knife these really bad scratches, which yeah, that kind of ruins a little bit of the collector value. But like I said, these knives are all original users except for that one. It's very sharp, carbon 5 steel. It did not come to me as sharp as I had expected it to, but I was able to get it sharp. And one thing that is unusual about this knife, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, it's a USA made cold steel knife, which Cold Steel no longer makes knives in the USA, but they did at one time, and that's why I did get this knife. And like all of their carbon 5 knives, or at least the ones that I know about, they came in this nice blue plastic container within the box to prevent rust. Now, last but not least is the Cold Steel Triple Action. It's a Tano version. It's sharp. VG1 wasn't one of my favorite steels because, yes, it's held an edge for a long time, but it was considerably harder than the other steels. And take that as you want it, but that did present some problems for me sharpening it. This aluminum did come to me super polished. You can see my iPod and then half of my face, I guess, in the reflection of the aluminum. Very, very shiny. I did have to put a little piece of tape in there to make it close shut like that. And once again, on my as these knives not being in their original configurations and everything, I did save the pommel out of this, just in case I ever want to put it back, or if I, heaven forbid me having to sell my knives, and if they want the original plastic pommel, I'll still have that. Thanks for watching. That's my collection of my rare and discontinued knives. Hopefully I'll be able to hold on to them, and that's about it. I probably won't have another video like this for a while because it's not every day that knives get discontinued. Of course, unless you're Spyderco, where they only make limited sprint runs, but I've never been able to afford a sprint run Spyderco. And another thing about Spyderco, those of you who are new to knives, is that everyone loves Spyderco knives, especially their sprint runs, because they're collectible and you can usually get your money back out of them. And this is probably the closest thing I have to a sprint run. And they make quite a few sprint runs. But when I say sprint run, you're talking 400 or 500 knives made ever, and then they stop making them. So once they're gone, they're gone. And one day I'll get into collecting those, and it'll be cool. But for now, this is what I have. Thanks for watching.